Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production.
Now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production. I want to welcome you to this segment in the program. Again, I want to ask of the viewers on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring, and you may underestimate your role in the reach of the program, in helping people to connect or to hear the message. When you share the program on your page, on Facebook or YouTube, you share the channel, people get to listen to the program, and many of them return. They don't stop listening. That is the power of the program. So I want to encourage you to please share the program on your page. I want to start off by saying, I told you so. I told you the next line of attack will be the new hospital construction, Project Polaris. And not only the NNP will attack this particular project, but the DPM will do so too. But the DPM will do it in a more sly way. And if you listen to the Beyond the Headlines last night, on one side of their tongue, they would say, well, we are not against the hospital project. And on the other side of their tongue, they have problem with the groundbreaking. They have problem with Cardi being located there and have to move. They have problem with the staffing. They have problem with everything. They complain about everything. But I told you that is exactly what would happen. Because I know them. They are predictable. Don't even talk about the DPM or Peter David and his group. They are so predictable, I can tell you what will be the next move. They are living in regrets. Because you have to understand, Peter David was with NDC. Man, Keith Mitchell said all kind of nasty, dirty things about this guy. But Peter David shameplate break long time ago. So he leak up that political vomit, and we know what happened with that first NDC, or the NDC of Uncle Tilly, and what they tried to do Uncle Tilly, a whole pile of them. Anyways, the Grenadian people rejected them in 2013, and we believe it was because of serious infiltration by those who wanted power then. And the guy bought the promise by Keith Mitchell and his party, and we saw what happened. So, Tutu's NNP won the election in 2013. Then we see Peter jump over like a jumping jack, like a what you call a crapo. You know, the crapo, anytime the sun hot, and you see the crapo start to froth and jump. So he jumped like a political crapo over to NNP. And Glennis started some North thing that did not go anywhere. The others who were around that whole clique, their political career went into the garbage bin, and Peter survived for a moment, but Keith Mitchell was tactical enough to destroy this guy's political career, in my belief. He became nothing and nothing in the politics of the country. And what we saw was him having to run from NNP. So NDC, we know what happened there. He went into NNP, run from there, and now they believe that they have an entrance. So they form this party or posy or whatever they call it. They form that thing. And the people who you see around this DPM launch, I mean, I saw a number of people. I personally saw a number of people there who are all revolutionaries. And if you speak to them, they believe that they have an entrance. And you hear them saying, comrades and comrades and comrades. And, you know, in 2026, they're outdated, many of these people. But they still believe that they could make a comeback. But they're politically dead. Somebody got to tell them that. They're politically dead. But here it is. I expected the NNP and DPM to think alike. And so say, so done. So this particular project, one of the biggest investment in the history of Grenada, Project Polaris, the new hospital facility, they're against it. The NNP is against it, and we know the new nasty party, they're against it because they are fearful that if this project succeeds, then they stand no chance. Then DPM, as I told you, one side of the tongue, they say, well, we're not against it, you know, we're not against it. And then on the other side of their tongue, but here, listen to them. They believe that they're smart, but they're not clever. They're not clever. So Ali Gill.
Now, in this particular, how are you going to staff Project Polaris? That's the issue. That's the question. So that you have a beautiful building, the technology is available. How are you going to get the human resource personnel?
But that is my question, because Grenada has trained upwards of 300 physicians, and we are scarce of physicians in Grenada. I'm asking what the DPM is going to do about that. Is it Cuba? Is it Nigeria? Is it getting Grenadians to come back? What's the plan?
First of all, we have to keep what we have. We have to make the...
Yeah, Ali, you empty like a whole paint bucket. First of all, you have to keep what we have. Well, we're keeping what we have. That is why the government invested, and you know, and they have given doctors $1,000 more on their salary, nurses $500 more on their salary. That is why they're upgrading, renovating 21 medical facilities. That is why they have brought in nurses from Ghana. You have specialist doctors from Nigeria. You have 30 doctors who are on scholarship at SGU. You have 81 or so nurses who are on scholarship or part scholarship at SGU, supported by government, and constant upgrade to the healthcare system throughout. Dental chairs in all parishes, mental health services in all parishes. The government is at work. The government is at work. So, you know, Ali is empty like an old paint pan. But that is how they operate. When development is about to take place, they will be very critical because they don't want these things to happen. They're going to pretend. They're going to make you believe that they're genuine and they want to see it, but then they speak on both sides of their tongue and they confuse you. But I can tell you that these people are not genuine. They're not. They want power. All of them want power. And you ask them, what are your plans? Listen to Peter David.
Promises, and then you rush in the end to get the promises done at the end of your tenure, and in doing it the way you do it destroys a lot that in terms of what has been done. So down at the site I understand, I mean, it can be verified or maybe rebutted, but certainly in a rush to have the launch, so that this launch of Project Polaris can be a political tool for the election campaign to say, well, listen, we've launched it, allow us to build it. Because if you elect the guys, they don't want it, so they won't build it. But in the process of doing that, you've destroyed valuable agricultural plants that we use to develop the agricultural industry for political purposes. I think the cannabis legislation...
Oh, God. Peter, what's wrong with you? So Peter is now concerned about one or two of the plants that Cardi has. You know, in the area there, it's a vast area, but Cardi is located there and has to be relocated. But that is kind of well established because the hospital project has to happen and will be located around that area, right? So it's kind of well established. But Peter, you see, these guys, you cannot trust them politically. Because one minute they're saying, well, look, we're not against the hospital project, and no Grenadian will be against the project. And then you hear them start complaining and making excuse and trying to throw shades on the project. And that's how they operate. You can't trust. They're not straightforward. You can't take their word for it. So now he's blaming the whole thing on what the plants and they excavated and because, you know, there is the sod turning ceremony on Friday. You just listen to these guys and you know that they're not sincere, they're not genuine, and they start complaining and being negative, and they're just like the NNP in my belief. Same mindset, same everything. They cut from the same cloth. But I'm not surprised. And then, who called in? Make a guess. Chester Humphrey. Boom Chess. You know, he was, also known as Boom Chess. Chester Humphrey, a.k.a. Boom Chess, right? Boom Chess, what's wrong with you? So Boom Chess called in.
Because healthcare is...
And they always believe that they're intellectual and that they're bright. But look who make them, who destroyed, in my belief, their political career. Keith Mitchell, you know. Keith Mitchell was able to take Boom Chess and put a wig on his head. And just for a little period of time, he believed he was in something. And then Tutus, they just speed that out. They don't want to see these guys. These guys are no good politically. They're blighted politically. Boom Chess. You remember I coined him the old rabbit in the wild? Because he used to be a roaring lion, you can say a roaring tiger. If you don't want to say a roaring lion, say a roaring tiger. And then Tutus, the guy, became toothless. And anything could have just pee on it. And he was like a rabbit in the wild, exposed to the elements. It's just sad because these guys come across as the intellectual type. The worst thing you can play with is a black so-called bourgeoisie who believe that they're bougie and intellectual and bright and smart. Yeah, they're dangerous politically. So this toothless tiger, this rabbit in the wild, because he has lost everything. He's no longer Chester Humphrey. So Boom Chess called in, aka Boom Chess. He called in and, you know, playing intellectual, but all of them, these people are haters of progress, in my belief. They don't want to see Project Polaris come true. They don't want to see any new development in this country. No, you're mad because they believe if that happens, then NDC going to be there for a very, very long time.
A wide industry, if you want to put it that. Where would Grenada's Polaris focus on? Respect of the healthcare that is going to provide in this overall carte blanche concept of health tourism. What kind of human resource would be required? What is the level of equipment that will be required? what research was done to determine whether or not we will establish a niche within it? How many patients are we to attract annually in order to make, first of all, the repayments that are required on this?
See, folks, you have to understand those haters of progress. Because remember, this same boom chest went on the NNP platform and man, he getting like a wild Indian. Same guy. The same Peter David you see there, he was with NNP. This same guy was with NNP on the platform, ran on the NNP ticket, and look at what they did to him. Yeah. Don't fool yourself with them, you know. They're not genuine, they're not sincere. And they will condemn everything and anything that the NDC does. And mind you, they are not going to any forum. They are not listening to any press conference, any news, any nothing. They don't care about that. Ali Gill spoke last night about the fish ban, and you believe that he is still under the fish ban when the fish ban was still there, right? And if you don't know that the thing was lifted and they have new markets and other things added to, you wonder, because these guys, they are not interested in substance. You hear them talk about the healthcare system and about Gov and about one doctor, and it's a lie. It is a lie. You have multiple doctors functioning in Gov at the polyclinic. And then you have a doctor who visits, the Grand Royal Medical Station and the other smaller medical stations within the district or the constituency. So it's a lie. But that's how they go on programs and they make you feel that the healthcare system is falling apart. And then you wonder, because they were there, they were in government before. All of these people were in government before. What did you do about it? What did you do to enhance the system? Yes, you can criticize. Yes, you can condemn. Yes, you could see all kind of. But what have you done? I ask Ali Gill, what have you done in St. John? Well, you claim you're born in Gov at the medical station or polyclinic or whatever you call it in Gov, right? What have you done for Gov? Because you were part of government before. What have you done for Gov or Mount Granby, Mount Nesbitt, Grand Roy, right? What have you done for St. John? I want to know. But all of a sudden you up front and pompous and making people believe that you're this big Dan in the politics. What have you done? You were just loud and you were on an NDC stage and then eventually they gave you something. I think you were made some minister of whatever. But what have you done? Really? Peter David, what have you done for the tongue of St. George? I want somebody to tell me what Peter David has done for the tongue of St. George. Look at the carnage. Look at the sidewalks and drains in the tongue of St. George. There's no signage to know what streets. Look at the tongue. Look at River Road. What have you done for River Road and Dabo and those places? And you're still a member of parliament for that constituency. What are you doing for the tongue of St. George? You see, they could only fool some of you, but they can't fool all the people. Because Grenadians are not stupid. We experience NNP. We experience NNP. And Peter was part of NNP. Peter was part of the Keith Mitchell-led administration. Come on. I am challenging you. Tell me, what have you done for the tongue of... It's easy to condemn, it's easy to criticize, it's easy to say all kind of stupidness. But I want to know, what have you done for the people of the tongue of St. George? What have you done, Ali Gill, for St. John? Because everybody believe it's a popularity contest, and Ali Gill is not popular. I know Ali Gill. Up close and personal. He's not popular or liked That is why NDC never run this guy in St. John. They knew he's politically toxic. It's clear cut. Yes, there might be one or two people who may have encountered in court and whatever, and who may like the guy and who may give him a personal vote or give him a vote. Nothing wrong with that. But they know that they would not make any impact politically. You think they know that? But they want to be spoilers. They will not make any serious impact. And Grenadians know that. Come on, you want that and them back in power? When you see that and them, and you see the NNP, they're 6,500. Same kind of stupidness. They have no plan, no nothing. And I played last night for you what these people intend to focus on. You listen to the DPM candidates and you wonder, this is what they're proposing, Listen to them.
Meanwhile, the Democratic People's Movement officially introduced its 8 candidates to contest key constituencies in Grenada's next general election. The introduction came during the party's Congress on Sunday.
The candidates unveiled are Andy Best for St. Patrick West, Pamela Williams for St. Andrew Northeast, Alvin Hollis for St. Andrew Northwest, Aaron Lewis for St. Andrew Southwest, Charmaine Gibbs for St. George South, Christopher Kojo for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Ali Gill for St. John, and Peter David, who will contest the town of St. George. Each candidate took to the podium to outline their vision and priorities, addressing what they described as pressing socio-economic challenges facing the country. Issues such as job creation, community development, and national growth were highlighted throughout their presentations. A recurrent theme among the candidates was the need to improve Grenada's healthcare system. Several speakers pointed to gaps in access, quality of care, and infrastructure, while emphasizing their commitment to delivering better health services for all citizens.
I will fight for proper health service in our parish and, of course, in the nation on a whole.
I'm elected. I will fight for farm roads on a public maintenance schedule, health station that are stocked and staffed 24/7, and an apprenticeship program that keep young people in Grenada instead of watching them.
Right, so roadwork starter, yeah. The same thing that you're talking about in a nice way, maintenance of farm roads and so on, the roadwork start. I think there were 2 or 3 fortnights that they rolled out. So roadwork start. People on the road debushing. And DPM is a real papi show. What are you fighting for? NDC. The current government is doing all of what these people talking about. The current government is doing it even better.
Leave. My generation is ready to build. We are not the future. We are the now.
My brother, we are the future and we are also the now. All right? So let them tell you. You make a mistake again. But, it's like a comedy show, with these people.
I am not coming to sit. I am coming to work. I come for this work. Seen in my community the denigration of many things. Our healthcare system is in shambles. We don't have reliable sources of water.
Right. Realize someone is calling there. Oh, but he got cut off. Yeah. I will open up the line in a while because I want to hear from you, because these people are talking, right? So this guy, what he said, the denigration of his community and
water. Even if we live in the places where the most rivers are. And I've decided that I would pick up the mantle with you.
Hello, I have a caller. Hello?
Hey.
You're live, huh?
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah, well, you're calling me on the program live. All right, yeah, so because this is my period of the program, 1 hour. So you're calling me live from 8 to 9. You understand? Good, so you have to call me after the program.
and work hard to bring resources to St. Andrews Southwest.
If elected, I will push for infrastructure.
Well, this one is for the South. This one is for the South. All right, so she pushed for infrastructure.
That keeps this constituency moving.
Constituency moving. Look at that is what Peter David and them have to offer. You see, NNP is no good and they're no better. All of them, they're in the same boat.
Roads that connect our communities and
Roads that connect our like child play. That has to be child play.
support the tourism industry that drives our economy. I will advocate for a proper medical facility, healthcare that serves our people with dignity. I will work to ensure our young people can build their futures right here in St. George South and not be forced to look elsewhere.
I've built a career in finance and investments, and now I offer my skills and my competencies to you, my people, so that we can build this country together.
Oh, God, Lord, it's amazing, you know. But that is what they're offering. And you wonder, they believe that Grenadians are going to vote for this? So that is what you're voting for? And then you listen to the NNP, it's a similar thing. NNP, you ask them, well, what are your plans? What are your programs? What do you intend to do? You want power so much. If you get power, what will you do with it? What are your plans? They're empty. They're empty. They have no vision. And that is why all they can do is to just attack everything. So they look at NDC and what NDC is doing, and they're attacking everything. You could imagine NNP attack the bi-monthly salary payments, where public officers are getting their money twice per month. It should be every week. Because there are countries around the world, every week people get paid, and you keep the economy buoyant. They attack the thing. They say it's not feasible, it cannot happen. Then the NDC introduced it, it happened, and it's going good. Everybody happy about it. They attack the pension payment. Pension, you know, for public officers. Because under NNP, they never paid. They didn't give them people a pension. So they attack it. They say, well, if you pay all the money, the pensioners go put the money in the bank, and it would not circulate in the economy. And if it's them, they would not do it so. And they would pay piece, and they would drag it on. And that's how the NNP operated. And then the NDC came, they paid them people their money. They spend in the economy, they repay their homes. And every month they continue to get their pension and everybody at peace. They're attacking every single, they attack the free tuition policy. They attack that and all, you know. Where the young people are getting the opportunity to go to TAMCC, go to NULO and learn a skill and, you know, access tertiary level education, where government is paying the tuition for them. They attack that and all. The free hot meal program was 16,000 young people are being fed every day. They attack that and all. Everything they're attacking. Everything. They pay and grade for the police officers, the NNP, goons, surrogates, and sycophants and zygotes. They're attacking that too. Yeah. They vex, they angry, they upset. Every single thing they attack. In fact, when the police headquarters was completed, they say, well, it was a building that was there before, and you didn't build a police headquarters brand new. But God damn it, you had the time to build one. You were there for 23 years and a half. You did not build any. You didn't build anything. They're attacking everything. So now, the attack is Project Polaris. They're attacking the new hospital. They have all kind of questions. And they're attacking this and they're attacking that. And how much beds will be there. And how much, where you get the staffing, where you get the this and the money. And they're attacking every single thing. They are so negative that they cannot see nothing good. They can't see nothing good. They're attacking the regularization of public officers and all. Because workers are being regularized. They attack the new pension scheme. You remember? The new pension scheme? You have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 workers in the public service who are unestablished, who would retire and go home without a pension. It took the NDC being bold, unafraid, to take on the tough issues to put in place a pension plan for these people. For these people. So now, this 5,000-6,000 workers, they could go home after they work the 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, because many of them working for 40-something years, you know. A lot of them. They will be working for 40-something years. When they retire, they could go home peacefully, getting a pension every month. Under NNP, they were going home back into poverty. Back into poverty. So, look, they're so negative that they would attack everything. There is nothing NDC could do to please these people. And they are not concerned about Grenada. The NNP, the DPM, all of that. They are not concerned about Grenada and the development of Grenada. They are concerned about power. All they want is power, to get into power. But if you get power, what will you do differently? What unique you have planned? What are your plans and programs? What initiative? What you want to roll out? All you're rolling out is candidates. This is not a popularity contest. No. This is not a popularity contest. Come on. So you believe that because you roll out some candidates, because what is different? I mean, I cannot fathom for a moment this whole idea of you wanting power and not having plans and programs and initiatives and having a vision. What would you like to see Grenada look like 10 years down the road? Because you're criticizing the Project Polaris, right? You're criticizing the new hospital and Hopeville Health City and so on. You're criticizing that. What is your plan? I heard Ali Gill last night talk about Newtown CC, and okay, but you were there. Why didn't you build a Newtown CC? Why all of a sudden it dawned on you that we need a Newtown CC facility? Why all of a sudden? Because you're now with DPM and you're back in the political realm? I mean, you see, you can't fool me and you cannot fool a lot of Grenadians. Keith Mitchell used to talk about cricket. And he had the cricket stadium, you know. All other little islands, they get in T20 night cricket. Keith Mitchell refused to light the cricket stadium, in my belief. The same cricket stadium. Cricket. And he's this and he's that. But why didn't he light the cricket stadium? So you could have T20 and all those things and keep things going? NDC has to come and light it. NDC, through Lotto, has to come and light the cricket stadium. All over they talk about St. Andrews. Why didn't they like Progress Park? So you could have night activity and so on. You just talk. They're good at talking. They're real good at talking. The NNP, Peter and all of them, all the whole folks, DPP, DPM, DP, whatever they call them. They're just good at talking. Very good at that. And they go on a program and they grin, they laugh, and you wonder if they're just taking everything for a joke. And they lack substance. They lack substance. This is Grenada. NNP been in power for 20-something years. And Carriacou, the Lauriston Airport in Carriacou, never had night landing. All them little islands up in the Grenadines and so on, all the way further up, they smaller population and so on. But they had night landing and an airport functioning and so on. Carriacou with all of these people, all the landmass and so on, they never had night landing. Who have to put night landing? NDC. NDC? Yes. You don't realize that? The Carriacou police station, for example, that was run down, dilapidated. Who had to come and fix it? I mean, yes, Beryl Pass, but NDC prioritized the fixing of that police station and nearly all the government facilities too. Look at the amount of roads that are being constructed in Carriacou. You have the polyclinics and the health centers and so on, the schools. Look at the amount of schools that have been upgraded and repaired and fixed. I mean, folks, you don't need to be a genius to understand this. Grenada is moving forward. Look at the amount of flights coming in and out of Grenada, well, coming into Grenada and leaving Grenada. Thanks to the most honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team. You don't see the airport workers, so they're looking nice. New uniform, they shining. And if you want to go back up to Carriacou, the new jetty is being constructed for the people of Petit Martinique. All of them talking Petit Martinique. What they come and build a new jetty, proper jetty for them. So when they come from Petit Martinique, they will come to Carriacou in peace. And they could ply their trade and everything. NDC, the fish market in Windward there, NDC, upgrading of the playing field in Hillsborough and so on, NDC again. And the jetty in Hillsborough, NDC going to fix that, you know. They're going to fix the jetty in Hillsborough, NDC. So all how NNP talking, now you are DPM, DPP, whatever the acronym. I'm asking you, all of them, they were wrong. They were there. You have some playing fields, eh? They never had light. They never had playing area where families could go with their children and just enjoy it. I'm telling you, right now you can go to those playing fields in the evening time after you come from work or wherever. Spend an hour or two with your children. They're on the swing. They're on the NDC again, bringing back community life, communal living, putting back life in the community. You have basketball competition, football competition, netball competition, cricket all in the night in all of those communities. The solar lights all about the place. The place brighten up. You have community centers that were refurbished and fixed and so on. NDC again. Basketball courts, netball courts fixed, upgraded. NDC again. And I want to call on my good partner, Philip Tellisford. I want you to fix that facility in St. Paul's here. All right? I don't know if you have it as part of your next activity to tackle. There's a little playing area there that I bring my children from time to time. Even yesterday we were there on the swing, and then you have to fix it, upgrade it. All right? Right there, nice little area, but you just need to be maintained. You need some one or two new little things there. And then you have the basketball court right here in St. Paul's. Right here in St. Paul's. Fix that for the young men and so on, the frequent and the basketball court there. Take that as a next project. Fix it and focus on that community center where Comancheros, they play and so on, the pan and so on. Upgrade that facility, fix it for them. That is a good project to embark upon. It will impact positively St. Paul's. All right, and I live pretty close to that facility, and I'm here to stay because I'm building and doing stuff in that particular area. So again, it's a good project for you to embark upon. All right, my good partner Philip Tellisford, because I think that's his area. The other side is Ron's area. The place kind of divided in a kind of way. So Mardi Gras side, that's Ron's area. That side is Philip Tellisford's area. So, right? So, but he's doing a fantastic job in health. So I want you to focus on that, my brother. Focus on that, trust me. So the NDC is working diligently. I would say even further, surgically, in fixing stuff and enhancing stuff and transforming stuff and bettering stuff within the community. I meet people who had pit latrines under NNP, and they now have modern bathroom and toilet facilities, tiled, painted, electricity in it, water, running water. I know of so many young people who are part of training programs, a part of programs that would give them down the road a skill. Come on, things are happening for young people where they're going directly through the training agency, the National Training Agency, so they would be certified. I remember our beloved Prime Minister said, look, there were a couple, 6, 7 spaces for scholarships with, pursuing or Grenadians wanting to be a doctor, a medical doctor, right? A doctorate or a medical degree, IMD or medical degree. And he said, he spoke to the university and said, look, okay, you saying 6, we want 30, and we're going to pay for 30 of our citizens, of our people, to pursue a medical degree. 30. That is vision. And then you have nurses who have gotten scholarships, young people who have gotten scholarship to pursue nursing, 81 or so of them at SGU. Some part scholarships, some full scholarships, some. That's vision. The Build Back Better houses, after Hurricane Ivan at Nemali. I wasn't wrong. I used to work in Housing Authority. Yeah, I was in Housing Authority. So I know NNP, they built 1 or 2 houses back for people during that time. But just how they met it, just how they built it. Without any bathroom and toilet facility, without any, just do it the same way. They have no class. I'm telling you. But the NDC, with the Build Back Better houses, man, you just watch the houses. You just check it out. So, Grenadians, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that the NDC cares about this piece of rock and our people. You go to Karakou, they have a lab, they're doing blood tests, they're doing all kind of stuff in Karakou now. They have an oxygen plant, they have everything happening up there now. Before time, they put on the Osprey and it come down and sometimes it spoils, sometimes you have all kind of problems. Things are different now. Things are happening under the National Democratic Congress administration. The most honorable Deacon Mitchell, he is leading in front. He's getting the job done. And we have a stable economy. The unemployment rate is about, 9.8% or something like that? And falling and going down. You have a stable economy. So, what more do we want? But I'm asking those who want power, what will you do differently? What are your plans? What is so unique about your plans and your programs? Do you have programs and plans? What more will you say to public officers? Excuse me. Will you say to public officers that the NDC gave you, because I think the teachers and police and prison officers and so on, they got 4%, 5%, right? Or 4%. It's about 14% or something like that. Either 14 or 15% over a 3-year period. Something like that. All right? Or 13% over that period. With all the fringe benefits and da. So will you now come and say to these public officers, well, we go give you 20% increase? Where would the money come from? Right? The NDC, they're making public officers permanent. Will you come and say to these public officers, well, we go make you permanent twice? The NDC is giving the people who want crown lands their deed and their plan and so on. Will you come and say to these people, we're going to give you twice, we will give you a deed and plan again? The people who get in their pension, because they were fighting for it under NNP, they didn't get it. Will you come and say, well, you will give them the pension twice? What are your plans? So the NDC is embarking upon a new hospital. Will you come and say to the people that they're going to build another new hospital or another airport? Because we just spent how much million? It was 65 million or so that they got from the Chinese on the airport. Will you go and build a new airport in Pearls? Or will you tell the Grenadian people you have investors line up waiting to come in and they want to roll over one another to come into Grenada once you get into power? What are you going to say you're going to build? All right, so the NDC built the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, the St. Andrew Anglican, they built in the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, the St. Andrew Anglican Primary, the Grenada Christian Academy, they're expanding the Calais government, the School for Special Education, expanding that, and so they do building labs and other things in other schools. They build some new schools in Carriacou, or they continue. All right, so will you now say to the electorate, well, I go build all the other schools that they ain't build, I go build it? Where are you going to get the money from? Right? The NDC, they're fixing the roads, right? They have a parcel of, well, I think they call it a parcel of road from the airport to the tunnel. They're doing that after the laying of the pipes and so on, right? The new water project and so on, the water expansion project. Then you have that parcel from the stadium area, go all the way up to Grande Tang. They're doing that piece. Then another parcel from airport to the cliff roundabout. Then on the western side, and all right, St. Andrew and other places. So will you tell the Grenadian electorate that you're going to fix all the roads, and you go, where you getting the money from? Right, and yes, the Florida government school that is to be constructed too. So will you, I'm asking, what, you going to tell the farmers, you going to give all the farmers irrigation system because the NDC gave some of them, you won't give everybody else, you won't give them all the farmers, NDC gave the farmers after burial $9,000 and some get $4,500. You gonna give them what, $50,000 each? And what you gonna do? I mean, you hear one of them talking about some housing project or grant to give $35,000 to the, what? I'm asking because they believe that we are fools. Huh? They believe they could trick us, and because they want power and they're hungry for power, and they. But when you get it, what will you do with it? What are your plans? What? You will bring down cost of living. You will tell people, well, I go bring down cost of living. I will take out all the tax and all the food stuff and all the thing. And how you go pay salaries? How you go fix the roads? Huh? How you go improve healthcare? How you go improve education? And we ain't no oil and gas that we found and processing and and maybe gold and iron ore and ruby and pearl, and we don't have these things on them. But they believe they could fool me and you. That is what they believe. So they out there talking all kind of party and posy and party and you listen to them and they song the same. NNP, DPP, DMP, DPM, DCP. All of them song the same. They empty. They lack substance. They have hype. And Ali Gill jumping like a jack donkey politically, and he giddy up. Right? That's Ali. Just rah, rah, rah. Nothing of substance. Nothing of substance. But I say this because I want you, the people, to understand. This is Grenada. This is our country. We are on the right path. We are being developed consistently, so things are happening for people. Look at the amount of jobs and opportunities for people now. You could hardly see a young man on the side of the road, on the block or somewhere. He's scarce. They at work. You try to get 2 masons to do some work for you, or 2 carpenters, or a plumber, or an electrician, or some interior designer or something like that, or some roof specialist. You try to get them now. You try to do that. Even a laborer, he had to get one. They at work, jobs are being created, and the private sector is driving that. You know, before it was government had to do this, government had to do that, government had to employ this one, government had to do. The private sector has to be the engine of growth in the country to drive employment and opportunities, the private sector. And that is what we are seeing. And I ask NNP, will you tell people that you have investors waiting? Because I remember when Keith Mitchell was there, we heard, rumors and allegation of investors line up, waiting to come in. And there was Miss Nayak, I remember Nayak, and them, she came out and she said, well, look, somebody told her within the NNP administration, well, don't go ahead and bill yet. When we come in, you go start to bill and you go this and. You remember that? Yeah. Under the NNP administration, when they come in and when NNP was in power, during the NNP administration time, you know how much conmen and crooks that came into Grenada, them white men with blue eyes, came into Grenada and conned the NNP administration of millions and millions of dollars? Not no liquor money, millions and millions of dollars they take from this country under the NNP administration. So they can't come and tell us about they have investors line up and they have this lineup and waiting to come in once they vote for them and investor confidence. Well, all the investors who were there before, they're still here doing their work because the NDC is a pro-worker government and a pro-business government. Things are happening under the NDC. And I challenge these people. I challenge them because they may, around the election time, tell you, well, they have investors and they have this and they have that. Well, where they coming from? Huh? Where? They said that before, And they fool a lot of Grenadians. A lot of Grenadians got caught up with that. And then we saw the shrimp farm, them white man and them come under the NNP time, and they turn the sword and the hoop thing and NNP all Keith say this and that one say that and they had all kind of big talk. And twos, we hear the NNP administration saying, well, look, them people run away with $50-something million. Them white man and them blue-eye white man. I don't know, the NNP administration just like white men and they just like to open their legs for them. That is what they did during that time. And we lost $50-something million. Just like that, Nobody go to jail, nobody arrested, nobody charged, under the NNP administration. And then there was Mount Hartman. Don't forget that, Mount Hartman, a white man called Ekram J. Miller, said he would build a Ritz-Carlton hotel. This big world-class hotel in Mount Hartman. 281 acres of land. The NNP administration fall for that white man again, Ekram J. Miller, E.J. Miller, and they open their leg and allow that white man to take them left, right, and center. They just love white men. And I'm not racist, I love all race. But I'm saying to you, the NNP administration had a weakness of white, blue-eye men. So that white man with a wrong, you call it a ball belly, Ekram J. Miller, this pot belly, right? And he was able to con the NNP administration into giving him millions and millions of. We lost $30-something million or so in Mount Hartman, And the damn white man go on with he and his family and them. And they go on yacht and drink out the damn money and enjoy themselves under the NNP administration. I'm telling you. And then up in Livera again, you had some white men again who came in and they tricked the NNP administration again and millions of dollars. Them white men go with, They welcome the NNP, The NNP administration, they welcome the NNP administration. But taxpayers had lost the money. Taxpayers lost the money. Your millions and millions and millions of dollars we lost under the NNP administration. And them all nasty dirtiness want to come back. They want to come back in power. They know damn good. They want to come back in power because they believe that Grenadians stupid. So they go come and say, well, investors line up and all you could fool. Well, you can't fool me. And mind you, hello, they go attack me, They go attack Kem Jones. And mind you, I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid them. They're custom attacking me. They're custom attacking Kendon Jones. And they will try all kind of stuff. I watch you drink, I watch you eat, I watch you. I know that, And many of them, they have history during the revolutionary time of doing all kind of heinous and wicked things. I'm telling you. And some of them have blood on their hands. Well, not some, a lot of them have blood on their hands. They're evil. They go attack me because I am speaking to a huge audience, home and abroad, on radio, on social media, and I'm Kem Jones. I'm the best in this business. They could try all over the trail. They could have all kind of program. They can't contest Kem Jones. I'm the Dan Gagan in this business. So I expect them to attack me. They go call program. They go say this. They want to know where I lie, they want to know where I eating, they want to know where I drinking. I know them. But I am here because I am well trained. They underestimate me. I train in Colombia. So I know them very well. I look out for them. They nasty, they dirty, they politically stink. And that's the fact. But they want to make a comeback. I know them. You think I ain't know them? So they go attack me. They go after Kim Jones. They go have all kind of things to see. But I'm unafraid. I've been there from, in fact, some of them that popping up now, I've been in the politics long before them. You hear me? So I know them. And I know their tricks, and I could predict them. They're predictable. I know the character traits. I know them. But you have to expect that. Expect in the next couple of months, man, is what they won't say about Kim Jones, but Kim Jones back broad. And they go say to the people in the diaspora and the people who supporting Kim Jones program, don't this and that. Well, now some of them people go support Kim Jones program, you know. Hello? The two programs that I do, they are the people's program, and anytime they open their mouth and they say, don't support the program and don't do this and that. Well, now some of them people supporting the program. Or you can't stop Kim Jones. We going to New York. On May the 16th, we're going to New York. On May the 16th. All right? Yeah.
On Saturday, May 16th, Brooklyn will come alive with live acoustic performances from some of Grenada's top local acts, setting the stage for an evening that celebrates culture, cuisine, and community. Set in an atmosphere of refined elegance, guests will enjoy a curated Caribbean culinary experience. The evening will also feature a special keynote address by the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada. This premier fundraising affair promises an unforgettable experience where flavor, music, and purpose come together for a truly meaningful evening. Tickets are available now on GoToFate and Eventbrite. Secure yours early and be part of an extraordinary night. Spice and Dough.
Yes. Secure your tickets early. I will be there at that event in New York on May the 16th. All right. So I'll be there a little before and I'll be there a little after the event in New York. So looking forward to seeing you there. All right. So folks, they will attack me and you have to defend me. You have to stand in the gap for me because they come in. I know them, you know. And don't even talk about when stupid season is close. Don't even talk about that. Remember, during the NNP time, they tried to sue me. They tried to attack me. I even got arrested, you remember? For crossing the road. They're nasty, they're dirty. But they still cannot stop Kim Jones. Because when I wake up in the morning, I'm bleaching down my padlock and make sure the place is fenced. And I have cameras left, right, and center. You hear me? I ain't trust them. They're nasty, they're dirty. Some of them would go and dip their hands in iniquity and witchcraft and all kind of nastiness to get power. But they can't make it. Because I'm grounded. I'm grounded and protected. No weapon formed against Kim Jones will prosper. None. I'm telling you. Oh, they go try. You have some of those who've been there during the revolutionary time and they have blood on their hands and they want to try the same thing. And they're targeting certain people. They can't make it with Kim Jones. No, they're nasty. They're dirty. They're bad-minded. But we have to continue to speak about the things that this government is doing. Developing this place, transforming this place, making this place greater and better. We have to continue on that path. Because you see, these folks, they don't like good for Grenada. All they want is power. They don't want to see Grenada develop and transform and so on. No, you're mad. They don't want that. They don't. What they want is power. But what would you do with it? You were there before you had power before. What did you do with the power you had before? Now you want more power. What will you do with it? Come on. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. No, we are not. So again, folks, I'm saying to you, let us remain focused and understand the mission at hand. They come in. They're aggressive because they want power and they want power at all costs. They'll do anything to get it. anything. They that dirty and nasty and bad-minded. But we have to remain focused and understand the mission at hand. This is Grenada. We are fighting for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. I'm telling you. Because they hit, look, Project Polaris, so got a new hospital. They didn't even start the project yet. They start to attack it already. The groundbreaking is on Friday. Groundbreaking doesn't start yet. They start to attack the thing already. They jump from the fishing ban, the visa thing. They jump from that to now to Project Polaris. What else they go jump on? What else? Every time thing you're negative, jump in. You're too negative. You're too negative. But folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. I'll be back with you tonight in the hub, starting from